little bit more than just a one-letter difference. I'm writing the longer review for the G8X, and while I was writing it, I thought I'd add a small section on what changed from the G8 to here. As I was writing those notes, the comparison section just kept getting longer and longer, so I figured I'd just carve it out, and that's what you're watching now, a separate video. Now, they might be labeled the same, but there's definitely a different focus for each phone. The core philosophy is still very LG. We've got premium audio, solid performance, and at least one wacky experiment per phone. LG loves taking a stab at a feature completely outside the norm with every release. Sometimes that lands, and it's amazing, like wide-angle cameras or the quad DAC headphone jacks. And sometimes you end up with the modular LG G5. The original G8, of course, focused on the front time-of-flight camera, and we can mock air gestures, but there's no mocking the fact that this is one of the few complete options with both secure face unlock and a fingerprint sensor, and palm unlock if you want a third option. The G8X counters with an in-display fingerprint reader, a newer 32 megapixel selfie camera which bends down to create 8 megapixel stills, and we finally have an LG with 4K selfie video. The original G8's in-display technology was a display speaker, which it's just not quite as nice as a more traditional earpiece speaker. The dual rear cameras are nearly identical, but oddly the G8X currently does not support 4K 60 frame per second video from the ultra-wide, which I hope is something that can be replaced in a future software update. And speaking of software, both phones are on Android 9, but the G8X is using the new LG UX. It's kinda Samsung-y, the way menus take up more space and everything gets bubblier and friendlier, and how some UI items get repositioned down to the bottom of the phone. I still don't love it, like I didn't love it on Samsung phones. You know I'm gonna say Novo launcher here, but it's definitely an improvement over older LG UI design. Screen is a bit bigger on the G8X, but the resolution and pixel density is a lot higher on the smaller G8. And this helps if you're like me and you set all of your options and font to the smallest possible pitch. But that's the hook. LG built the G8X around supporting one critical accessory: dual screen. This screen choice on the phone makes it easier and more cost-effective to match the phone to the case. And the battery capacity bump over the older G8, that helps buffer the extra power draw of the dual screen. Going back to an earpiece speaker, an in-display speaker won't sound so great when the case is closed. I don't love in-display fingerprint sensors, but the G8X needs to consider a broader range of use as a standalone phone, a dual screen phone, and when the back of the phone is covered by the second screen. So it kind of makes sense. And now we have a fun choice. The G8 is easily found for pretty cheap online these days. I've seen sales around $600 and refurbs down around $400. It's one of the most complete pocket computers you can pick up, one of the last premium options with a headphone jack, and top tier camera performance. The G8X brings a crazy fun feature to the table, flagship performance, and manages to meet a price point in OnePlus territory with the dual screen case. I was expecting these two phones to be more similar, but it's interesting to see how one accessory decision can completely change how a phone behaves. Will a rose by any other name smell as sweetly? Well, yeah, but they might smell a little different. I don't know, I was trying to be fancy. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, subscribing to this channel. More than just nerding out on one phone or one accessory or trying to only talk about what's popular, it's nice digging into some of the differences, changes, and comparisons without making it a winner or loser kind of situation. I'll have a lot more to say about the G8X as I wrap up my full review of this phone, so stay tuned for those videos. And there are links down below in the description where you can find more information on the G8X, shop one of these puppies online. Maybe you want to broaden and expand your horizons. If you would like to help support the production of those broader conversations on this channel, there are those links below, or you could consider joining the list of names currently scrolling by on your screen. They're a fun, growing community of like-minded tech pals, a huge resource for me as I'm planning future videos and editorials. They're good folks. I hope to check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch, and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and I will catch you all on the next video.